Hello and welcome to Backlight Boston, presented by Luminarium Dance Company. This month, we have Andrea from the BCA joining us. I hope you enjoy. Joining us this month is Andrea Blesso Albuquerque, Dance and Program Manager at the Boston Center for the Arts. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How did you first get involved with the Boston Center for the Arts?
Well, I've been at the BCA for about 6 years, and I actually started in a really sort of intro position, just doing admin, and about 10 or 11 months after I started, our new director, well, she's not new anymore, but Veronique Lamel, our president and CEO, started, and she invited anyone on staff to share ideas for programs at the BCA. Once those programs took off, they warranted my attention enough that I'm now just running dance and no longer doing admin. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's really exciting that the city of Boston took to the programs like that, and well, the dancers of Boston, I should say.
So in your own words, what's the mission of the Boston Center for the Arts?
Well, the technical mission is to support working artists to create, perform, and exhibit. But as a programmer at the BCA, I see that as a jumping off point to really tap into each art form and try to find out what artists need at different levels of their careers and create programs that support them to grow and expand.
So, what is the Boston Center of the Arts doing to kind of help foster community and dance here in Boston?
Well, this year we're really focusing on our dance residency program and sort of pushing past the boundaries of what it has been in the past. We actually added a 4th dance residency this season, which is a really big deal. And we also are inviting those artists that are in residence to participate at the BCA throughout the whole season instead of during just their month intensive time.
Yeah.
And we also do kind of fun things with our events. So we have 4 fundraisers a year, and we try to find ways to weave dancers into those events. Whether it's aerial dancers swinging around during a cocktail reception, or dancers moving through the garden or our studio building during our open studios events.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is really fun. It's a great place to work, and I think that hopefully the dancers we connect with have fun too.
Yeah. So let's kind of go back to the residency.
Yeah.
What does that kind of involve? How when people, they obviously are applying, to get into that, how many people do you get to apply, and then what are the dance companies, or individuals getting out of that?
Sure, yeah. Well, we get about 25 applications a season, and there is a jury process that selects the participating artists.
Yeah.
And we ask them to propose a concept that they want to work on, and then also a community event, so that we're reaching out to our neighbors in the South End and elsewhere. So the residencies are really exciting. As a dancer, I think, I want one, but obviously I can't. So basically the selected company gets a month of studio time, and the studio is theirs. They own it. No one else can go in it.
And you're really helping them fill that theater and get an audience into that space.
Yeah, it's so actually last season we added a new element that I'm really excited about. We work with a videographer and a photographer to document the process of the new work during rehearsals and the performance. And then, so when the artist leaves, they not only have the work they created, the promotion materials, but they also have a documentation of it on video and DVD. Or that's the same thing, sorry, of photography and video, so that they can use that to apply for grants and other residencies and things like that. So
that's great.
Thanks. Yeah, we want it to be sort of a platform for them to take their work to the next level.
It seems like you could almost do like a cool like documentary almost of like making of a show or making of a piece, you know.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
You know, to kind of show some artists, you know, some of the background things that they might not necessarily be thinking of, or you know, whatever, you know, in making it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Maybe that'll be a new element.
So how many residencies do you have throughout the year?
Well, we typically have 3, but this year we have 4. So we have one each season. We have a fall, a winter, spring, and summer, which is really exciting. We've never had a summer residency.
That's great.
So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll dance outside in the sunshine instead of in the studio.
Yeah. So what do you know, upcoming residencies do you have?
Well, we have Jean Epelon Expressions. They're our first resident starting in November. They're our fall resident. And then we have Lanco Arts from New York City here this winter in January and February. And our spring residency, is Anna Reyes Dance. And they'll be here all June, and they're having their show at the end of the residency in the Mills Gallery. So that's really something new.
Yeah.
And then our summer residency is Carrie McKinley, and she'll be here in July and August at the BCA.
That's great.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So you mentioned, you know, the Mills. Obviously, you guys do movement at the Mills. What are you guys doing there this year?
Actually, that program is sort of on hiatus this season as we reassess some things at the BCA. We're sort of pooling our resources into the residency program to really sort of blow that out of the water a little more and expand that program. That's why it's actually really great that we'll be activating the Mills Gallery through the dance residency program as well.
That's great. And you, if people wanted to kind of learn more about the residency, how to apply, or you know, to see some of these shows, how would they go about doing that?
Oh yeah, well, we have a whole page on our website, bcaonline.org, and it talks about the application process, who will be here this season, and what the program really entails. And then if you want to buy tickets to the shows, the box office website for that is bostontheaterscene.com, and that's through the Calderwood Pavilion. All our shows are in that space. Actually, they're not this season. They're not, I'm lying. That's for the residency intensive is in the Calderwood Pavilion. But this season we have performances in the Art Plaza Theater as well, and the Mills Gallery. So we're really taking the residency and getting it out of the studio, which is exciting.
So for people who may be new to the BCA or kind of long-term members, you know, what's new and exciting going on, you know, this year?
Well, the BCA this season, we're in the process of reimagining our programs and enhancing and fancying them up a little bit. So we're really at a point where we're talking to the artists, talking to the community and the audience, and finding out what people want and hearing feedback. So artists, give me a ring if you want, if you have any ideas or
and can members of the community, if they want to?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, our doors and our ears are open this season. So please share with us and be a part of what we are now and what we could be in the future.
And if people want to get in contact with you directly, they'll find your email address on the webpage?
Yep, on our website.
Well, Andrea, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And now, events from the Boston dance community. Who knew that the BCA was doing so much this year for dance in the community? If you'd like to email some questions, we're at info@luminariumdance.org, or you can reach us on Twitter @BacklightBoston. Thank you so much. Hope to see you next month.